Alright, I think this should be working. Hopefully it's working. And just to keep an eye on how things are going inside of the YouTube chat, since I probably won't be able to see it for a while, we're gonna have a little bit of an outsider's view. I can find my outsider's view device. I thought this was I'm not even prepared. This is not enough. Let's see. This is on. This should be on. So. Alright. Now that we have things up and got things rolling, I will not be having a face cam for this because not prepared space, but hello everybody and welcome to the start of a podcast that I will be doing for this channel. I will not be doing it on my other channel because that one's not really, ready. But, yeah, so what we will be doing. Oh, I didn't even realize. There we go. That looks at least a little better. And my thing is also delayed. Slightly, but that's not bad. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the start of an interesting podcast that I will be doing every Monday. For, I guess you could say, for about like an hour or two, maybe. If I'm up for it. One thing I would definitely love to advise that this is a podcast for one and all. Anybody would love to, say anything in chat, it would definitely be nice to know. So, but yeah, so today, as you could probably see just by the topic of the, live stream, if it's not already obvious, which I'm guessing it probably isn't, today we are going to be talking about a children's show named Bluey, where it's basically about a small blue healer by the name of Bluey with her sister Bingo and the entire family. Sorry. I'm not used to doing podcasts and stuff like this, so this is a little bit more out of my territory. especially since I'm not really used to doing a lot of stuff like this, But, yeah, so this podcast will be talking about the first 2 episodes in Bluey, otherwise known as episode 1 of season 1, The Magic Xylophone, and the second episode, Hospital. Now, I mainly want to circle around these 2 specific criteria points, especially since it's going to be very important to mention, very important to talk about like how the kids interact with each other, to how they interact with the world around them, along with how the parents are more really despondent and what lessons are learned, what Easter eggs can be found, and what small little hidden references we can also see inside. So don't mind me if you hear a lot of clicking and clacking in my mic. I'm currently fixing the stream's title, sadly. It's kind of the last thing I wanted to do. But, yes, so this is technically just what the stream is. One thing I would definitely love to mention is there's going to be a lot of stuff that'll be mentioned along with some smaller details that probably weren't noticed. I'm not a big time theorizer, and I'm definitely not someone that usually talks about something like this. So I do beg Bluey fans, please be patient with me. I would really appreciate it. But first things first, for those that never have seen Bluey, there will be clips from the show that will probably influence you to watch it. It's very easy to find if you use a VPN in order for you to watch like certain shows that aren't shown inside of America. There are also hidden episodes inside of the show as well that have been censored by Disney, because this is also something you can find on Disney Plus. There are certain scenes that have been changed as well compared to the original, and we will also be talking about how things are a lot different to how it's shown on Disney compared to how it's originally shown back all the way over in Australia, which is like a 24-hour flight for those that are wondering. But yeah, why don't we go ahead, kick this off with a banger. So one thing that I could probably definitely note is how Bluey doesn't really have a specific plot, a pilot episode. And that is something that I don't know if anybody else has mentioned, but if it has not been mentioned yet, it would be really interesting to see what the pilot episode could have been and how it would have been, influenced in a sense. From what I know, people have been speculating that there has been a canceled pilot episode of the earlier days of when Bluey was made before it turned into the absolutely amazing and great show that it turned into today, which is something I didn't really expect to hear. People say that there's also, more released, some Bluey fans speculate that in the original pilot episode that was supposed to be shown, that Bandit is very out of character. He doesn't really, like his life. And we get a bit more of an introduction for how, Bandit is all the time, along with Bluey and how she interacts with her friends, which would be really interesting to see for a change. But enough of that talk so far. Let's go ahead and see if I could get the clip on. I have no idea how any of this works, so please do be patient with me. There are different layouts. I do beg of you, please be patient with me. Okay, I found out how to do the video clips. I'm so sorry. So first things first, I want to start off with the first episode being the magic xylophone. Those that have never seen Bluey or have never heard of Bluey, the magic xylophone is a very interesting set of, is a very interesting starter for the show. It's when we get introduced to Bingo, Bandit, Chili, and most importantly of all, Bluey. It's it's a really interesting start for the entire season of season 1. And if I'm being completely honest, it's like it's really funny. For those that have never seen the show, I'm trying to get the clip on. Just give me a quick moments momentarily. it's bugging on me. Just give me a quick second. I think I gotta render some stuff for it. But in the meantime, one thing that I would definitely like to note is how in the show they always start off with a small clip of what the show is going to be about, what the episode's going to be about, and how it's in relation to something that is being done inside of the pilot episode of the evidence of this, which is much better for me to say, would be this clip that I'm about to show, if it will show. And it will not show. I don't know how to run streams, guys. Give me a second. I'm processing. How do you do this? I'm not a big techie, so I have no idea how any of this is done, but I'm figuring this out slowly as we go. Why? Because it's better to figure things out. So I do deeply apologize. Please, everybody, be patient with me with all this and ignore the dogs. I don't know how to do an MP4. I don't think there's a possible way for me to do the stuff on it. Sorry. Don't mind the dogs barking in the background, please. It's a little complicated. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think I might have figured it out. Possibly. Will it work? Probably not. Will I try anyway? Yes, I will. I will warn you, though, that I'm not going to be showing the full episode. I will only be showing clips of how this works more overly, because these episodes are 7 minutes long, and I know that not a lot of people really have time to watch like 7-minute long videos. So what we will do is we will do this works. So I won't have this in the best quality. But technically the way that it works is how it manufactures and all that. And the episode opens with Bluey on top of her dad's lap. He's getting ready to, I would guess you could say, play the piano. And it's actually really funny. If I'm being completely honest. So it's, you know, it's interesting at most. Actually, I think I might have figured out a way that I could stream this. Might make this easier. I don't know if this will work, so. I don't think it's showing, but. Okay, I can't get it to download. Weird, but that's not gonna stop us from having a good time. But so something I could definitely add on to the factor that it's a really good episode. Let's move on to the more interesting factors. What does the episode what's the moral lesson inside of the entire episode? And I would probably have to say like the entire lesson of the entire, episode would be that you can't really have all the fun to yourself. It's even mentioned in the episode that, taking turns is important. And how it's essentially worked in, I would more really pretty much say that it's not really something that people would be very thrilled to see, but also it would be something that would be important for kids to learn. But I more really would prefer it to be like, everything is better than nothing. Because either you don't know what you're doing and you hurt somebody else's, feelings, or you end up dealing with what Bluey's mom says: if you won't take turns with people, people won't take turns with you. Which I kind of find honestly really funny, especially since Bluey's a very stubborn kid from what I've seen. Sorry. I'm so sorry if I'm being very quiet. I'm not usually this quiet. Stuff like this. I'm still trying to get used to everything. Because I'm still trying to figure out, like, the whole streaming situation. I think I might have... I don't think so, but I might as well just see how that works. So, I don't know if it works. I don't know if it'll load or not. I don't think it's gonna load, but I want to see if I can try and get it to load. Yeah, I don't think it's working, weirdly enough. Oh, wait, I think I got it. I just figured it out. I got it. I just figured it out. I got it. Okay. I managed to get the clip that I wanted to show into the thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Thank God. I managed to figure that out. That took a little longer than I thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now play for you the Rondo alla Turca.
Yeah, as you can clearly see, at the beginning of each episode, they have like some sort of clip that is honestly really shown. And with each of the clips that are shown, it's usually something that corresponds with the episode. Like, for example, in the clip that was just shown, it's showing that at the beginning of the episode, oh, they're playing a fun little game, right? They're messing around, they're playing a nice game. Something that is very fun for kids to learn from and have a lot of fun. However, it is also very noticeable that the lesson that will be introduced is also said in, it's also stated inside of the episode before the title comes in. Which is honestly what I didn't really think was noticeable until I actually like watched the things all over again. So it's like, for example, with the clip that I just showed, it's noticeable that it's very noticeable that in the show, it's seen that in some of the episodes, the overall lesson that's going to be taught is visible. However, it's not always going to be immediately shown in that sense. So, like, for example, in the first episode, the magic xylophone, while the one clip that I recently just shown is like, oh, they're having fun, they're enjoying themselves. It's also the starter for the introduction for how the episode is going to start off, you know? Um, it's shown in the next clip that I'm about to play that Bingo feels a little excluded, that she feels a little left out, and she wants to be able to join in on said fun.
Dad, I want to be the piano. No, it's still my turn.
Taking turns can be difficult.
Dad, she's had this many turns.
I swear, watching that scene never gets old. It's really funny. If you, like I said, if you've never seen the show, I highly recommend go watch the show on Disney Plus. Maybe use any VPN that you have to try and see if you get onto the Australian streaming services. Because even though YouTube will have the original episodes ready on the original Bluey channel, they're not always going to show absolutely everything. There are certain scenes in most of the episodes that are blurred out that are not available on YouTube. So if you want to see how Okay, there was a little bit of a misdemeanor, but that's nothing that we can't fix somehow. But on to the original point in time. This is when the lesson gets introduced, and this is where the term taking turns starts taking a turn. Uh, so the entire overall lesson of the show will be, oh, we need to take turns. It's important to take turns, and if you don't take turns, there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be happening. And it's more really seen that in a little bit later, after they rediscover the xylophone, it's very noticeable. They're always fighting. So I'm just trying to find a way to load the clip on. I'm sorry. But it's very interesting to see how the kids interact with their dad. It's very funny to see how they run around, they mess around, and they enjoy their time. Though it's also very noticeable that when they leave for work, usually one parent is home or both parents are home. Whether one is working, one isn't working, and all of that. It's honestly a really complicated thing to try and wrap my head around. I guess you could say. So I would, but like I said, I would highly advise you check out the show yourself, see what you think about it. It's something that it's not really easy to wrap your own head around. And with it, it's like, oh, I need to see how this will run, or how will this work out within the family, you know? But for example, and I know that this has probably have gone on a little bit longer than some of you may be hoping for, but we're getting to the juicy stuff, I swear. We're getting there. I'm just waiting for the thing to load because it's taking forever. It's a little ongoing show. I just pray that the Raiders of Bluey don't come after me after all of this is shown. Honestly, a really good show. I would recommend watching it. But in later on inside of the episode, it's seen that Bluey's not really a fan of taking turns. And it's very evident that she's not a big fan, because there's constant reminders that say, oh, I want to have all the fun. I want to be able to do this, but I also still want to keep playing with you. So it takes them a little bit of a while to wrap their head around it. So it would take them a little longer for them to understand the concept. It's very noticeable as well that later on in an episode that we will be talking about in the near future, being past the parcel, or as I prefer to say, past the present around. I don't remember the exact name of the episode, but I could definitely tell you that that's where we get a confirmed age for Bluey, but there also is the episode Yoga Ball, which will also be talked about probably next week, if it's part of the next 2 episodes I will be talking about. Chances of it being the next episode I will be talking about are high. One thing I would definitely love to advise, though, is okay. That was a little awkward. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I do deeply apologize to any of my viewers that didn't expect that. But what we will do is we will go back to our regular scheduled programming. Oh yeah, that's right. I put them in files. Sorry. I completely forgot that it's not gonna let me do the thing through my photos. I completely forgot that it's not gonna let me do that. But back to original point in time, during the episode, it's noticeable that while they're playing the game of the magic xylophone, that Bluey doesn't really share the said magic xylophone.
Okay, I'll unfreeze him. I want to do it. Mom, Bluey's not letting me have any turns.
Bluey, if you don't take turns with people, people won't take turns with you.
But Bingo's too slow. Dad will catch her. No, I'm not.
You can either take turns, or I'll bring the xylophone to work with me. I'll freeze my boss.
No!
Well, you know what to do then. I'll see you later. Just make sure you unfreeze him for toilet.
As you can see, Bluey has a bit more of a habit of doing everything on her own. She's known as the older sister, but also inside of the show, it's noticeable that eventually it gets to the point where they have to resolve and resign in their differences.
I'm really fast when he's mad. Okay, freeze.
There you are!
Run, Bingo! Back inside!
Bingo! Bluey! Come back here! Where are they? I can't find them anywhere! Maybe they went downstairs.
I can't hear him. I think we should freeze him just in case. Give me the xylophone. No, I want to freeze him. You've had all the freezing turns. Bingo, let go.
As you can see, something I also want to mention is how, as you're listening to the song in the background that is playing while everything is going on, it's noticeable that they're actually playing the song by the composer that was mentioned within the end credits, that the song that's being played while everything is happening after the title comes up is none other than the Rondo alla Turca, which is a piano piece that has been written by a famous composer and is actually very familiar for some musicians when they hear the first stream of notes. And in the clip that I'm about to show you again is going to be what's going to be, what's in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now play for you the Rondo alla Turca.
Now, I don't know if anybody else noticed how the piano that he's doing is, yes, Bluey, but also, if you notice, he is humming along to the song while the actual song's playing in the back, which makes a really interesting reference that I actually did not notice until I've watched the episode again and again. But eventually they do reconcile. They do learn, taking turns is really important. It's really interesting to watch. But that's the moral story all over the first episode. I honestly want to move on to the second episode now. Before I forget, we have to move on to the second episode. The second episode is otherwise known as Hospitals. And the episode starts off with Bandit playing with, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Bingo. And during that said episode, it's very noticeable that Bluey wanted to end up having a turn. He ends up hurting his back. And with that, it's an all-over game that they decide to play, which is Hospitals, which is a very familiar game to both them and their father and their dad. in this episode, it's very noticeable to tell that Bluey doesn't really have any good bedside table manners, while Bingo is a little bit more kinder, very, very gentle, and is willing to do anything to make sure that the game has a happy ending to it if it's not noticeable enough already. It's also very noticeable that they don't really understand Bingo's drawings in the episode. I will show the clips in just a second, but it's noticeable they don't really understand the concept of how the drawings work. It is honestly really, really cute. It's really, really funny. And everything is going on. I'm loading the clips up. But it's nice to see that they're playing around, they're messing around while they can, and that they're doing a lot. It's really, really sweet to see that the kids that are playing and they're expressing themselves through a very lively manner. But in the episode hospital, it's noticeable that they set everything up. They make everything look like that it is an actual hospital, and how they view it in the kids' eyes, and that they have Bandit, who is playing as patient. Okay, I did not mean to click that, but it's clear that they have them go by the name of Telemachus, which I actually find is a really interesting reference to Greek gods in a sense, because I know that Telemachus is part of Greek mythology. It's really interesting to see it in that sense, because I didn't think that the writers would add that reference in, even though Joe Brum, the creator of Bluey, actually references everything off of his kids' lives, and it's really, really nice to see that we have an inside look of what daily lives of a kid looks like and how like they perceive everything compared to how everything is in the real world. So if I put on the clip, give me a quick second.
Ow! Bluey! I mean, Doctor, can that be the last injection, please?
Nope. Here's the x-ray, Doctor. Oh, thank you. I'll just get this plaster off.
It's clear to see Bluey doesn't really have any bedside table manners, while with Bingo, on the other hand, which I'm about to show, does.
Baby in there?
No, I don't think so.
Nurse, do an x-ray on the big blue guy, please. I think there's a baby in there. Yes, Doctor.
Hang on, I really don't think I have a... Ouch!
Bye!
Good grief!
That didn't exactly show what I was planning to show, but it's fine. I could just get that clip up and ready in a second. Bingo is a very sweet young girl. She's the younger sister of Bluey, and it's very, very nice to see that she has more bedside table manners because she wants to see the more kinder outcome of everybody in the world. And it's really, really interesting to see how that works out in the Blueyverse, as I like to call it. And how different everything is inside of the Blueyverse. Now, now I don't think there's actually an exact lesson in this episode, but I do know that there were a lot of different references that I don't know if I'm digging too deep into. But in the episode, it's noticeable that Bluey isn't really big on bedside table manners. She constantly says the word sting as referring to like a needle going into somebody's arm that probably wasn't really prepared for it. And she does it in a very harsh manner where it's very hurtful to the person, because if it's out of nowhere and they weren't ready for it, it's more of a tactical approach that it's unnecessary. But because it was a game, she thought it would be funny to see that outcome. Well, Bingo is a bit more gentle with her bedside table manners.
Make you feel better. Now, time for your x-ray. Ready? 3, 2, 1. X-ray!
Well, something I would actually really love to mention is how they don't understand Bingo's drawings, and it's really funny in my opinion, because it's more of the matter of fact that they believe that there was a possum, but it turned out to be a cat. And I honestly found like the whole charade extremely amusing. While they were trying to figure out everything that was going on. But I would absolutely love to mention as well how they are very interactive. They're very, very sweet to each other. They know how to not really contribute to each other's playtime, but more of the overly fact that they're very calm. They're very enthusiastic about being around each other, and it's really funny. But moving on. One thing I would definitely love to mention is how first time doing something like this, so I'm not really used to doing all of this on my own. But something I would definitely love to mention is how they're very playful. Bandit is always the one that's mostly contributing to their games. There was a specific term for this. I don't exactly remember what the term is, but it is the sweetest thing ever. I think the term is it's definitely not a daddy's princess type term. I don't exactly remember it. Girl dad, that's what it was. It was a girl dad. That's what it was. Cannot believe I completely forgot about that term. But for those that don't know what a girl dad is a dad that spends a lot of time with his girls. He does whatever he can to make them happy and to interact with them and spend time with them and play with them in games that they want to do and help in certain ways that they want to do it. And it's really, really sweet, especially considering that they only had 2 kids, which are Bluey and Bingo, and he works. It's noticeable inside of some of the episodes as well that he works from home, and he also works and he also travels for work as well, which will be those points, however, will be mentioned again in later episodes when I figure everything out and make sure that everything is, up and running for a bit more of a much better stream. These streams for the Bluey podcast will be every Monday, though. I will say that it'll be every Monday. No matter what, it's really something I hope to expand on more. There will be 2 other streams this week as well. There will be what was the stream again? There's going to be a breakdown of the epic. It's going to be a large breakdown of the epic, the musical stream, and that's going to be one song for every streaming podcast that I will do, because I'm absolutely invested in epic. For those that have no idea what it is, it's a large musical made by none other than Jorge Rivera Aaron's, and more information on that will be brought to you on Wednesday. And something that I'm introducing, which is a get to know you stream, where it's you get to know me, you get to know the people that will be featured on my channel, on 2 of the channels that I have. And I honestly, and or really hopefully pray that people tune into, because it's better to get to know the people that are part of the videos, that are behind the videos, and know exactly like what they're doing, what's going on. So that's a little bit more of the softer side of the intermission. Now back to my main point and view. Bluey is a very interesting character. She is very lively, she's very happy, she's very joyful, and she's extremely hyper. Now, these 2 dogs are actual dog breeds. One is a blue heeler, one is a red heeler, and the blue heeler, and because they both have heeler in their last name, it's evident that they won't change it anytime soon. But with Bluey and Bingo, they play a lot of games with their dad. They absolutely love playing games with him when he has the time. Whenever they do, Bluey just doesn't hesitate to find a way to make it ever to God so exhausting and so exhilarating for both of them. It's very noticeable that she intentionally does this, and she intentionally finds a way to do really bad table manners. And the term table manners, for those that have absolutely no idea what table manners are, or bedside manner is, it's usually like a doctor or a nurse that tends to you, that takes care of you, makes sure that you're doing good, you have all the medications that you need. They figure out what's going on with you. Now that's bedside table manners, and that is also kind of just a sum up of the usual shenanigans that Bluey is usually into. Has a very bad bedside manners. Bingo, on the other hand, who plays as the nurse, expresses her concern even through play, makes sure that everybody is playing fair, and absolutely loves having a good time spending time with her sister. And in another later episode, which will be soon, hopefully, will be when we start discussing more of Bingo's character. For now, I want to mainly focus solely on the episodes, see how they resign, and what people think of them. Now, as for probably my favorite moments in both of the episodes, I would have to say how Chili, while trying to go to work and resolve an issue, she I wouldn't say threatens. She claims that she will take the xylophone away. She'll bring it to work with her, which could be anywhere within Queensland, Australia, or possibly in another inside of the city that is a little bit farther off from where Bluey lives. And she says that she'll use it on her boss. I honestly kind of find that very funny in a sense.
Okay, I'll unfreeze him. I want to do it. Mom, Bluey's not letting me have any turns.
Bluey, if you don't take turns with people, people won't take turns with you.
But Bingo is too slow. Dad will catch her. No, I'm not.
You can either take turns, or I'll bring the xylophone to work with me. I'll freeze my boss.
No!
Well, you know what to do then. I'll see you later. Just make sure you unfreeze him for toilet.
It's definitely something that I find really interesting, because usually if you're playing a game in relation to like freeze tag, or if you're doing something like the magic xylophone with like an instrument, it's definitely something that, yes, can get annoying, but if you're going to work for the day, it's something that you can't wait to get home to, and it's really funny in my opinion. Especially when she claims she's gonna take it, she's gonna use it on her boss. I can see why she would want to, like, you know, free work day, you get to spend some time at home. It also knows that Bandit, who is her husband, will be eventually be able to take care of it. And it's honestly the most funny thing ever. Another thing I would absolutely love to mention is how the dad is always the one that's getting roped into the games. Like, their first thought is, who are we gonna play with today? Out of both of the parents is usually their dad, and if something comes up, they usually find a way around it, or he finds a way to play with them while also waiting for something else to happen. Examples of that will most likely come in later episodes, which I find as very heartwarming, especially for someone of my age who's watching the show. The show is originally intended for kids, but there are a lot of Bluey fans that are that are also teenagers and also adults, such as myself, which have really pulled on the heartstrings of everything. In later on episodes, because we are going to be coming into a close very, very soon. In later on episodes of the podcast, we will be talking and discussing about the creative idea and the creative genius of how all of this works. I honestly can't wait. Especially since this is probably one of the favorite shows that Disney has produced. And I honestly can't wait to see more of the creative genius and how all of this will play out, along with what discussions that we could have together on the show and the topic of manner, whatever the show has in store, and what topics we could bring up in the meantime. Hopefully, I'm a little bit more prepared and I figured things out as well before the stream starts. But then again, I started this off a little bit after I came home, so technically that is also on my part. But I can only hope that you all had a very lovely day. We're about to hit the 1 hour mark, and I don't want to keep you guys for any longer unless things come up and we can go on for a lot longer. But since it's only just me currently, I would absolutely love to say I really hope that you all enjoyed the stream, and I really hope to see you all next Monday for the next stream for the Bluey Podcast. And if you're sticking around this week, make sure to be on the lookout for any videos that I may or may not post, or any content or streams that will be happening in the future as well. I honestly can't wait to see you all in the next stream or the next live that will be produced. And I can only hope that we all enjoy our time. Now, I hope to see you guys around. Bye!